And we've been joined by UConn coach T.J. Weist. The Huskies are 0-9 overall, 0-5 in the American Athletic Conference. We're in action this past Saturday at SMU. SMU won the game 38-21. UConn back on the field Saturday at Temple, a 7 p.m. Eastern Time start. The game will be on ESPN3. Coach, thanks for joining us on the call this week. If you could take a minute to tie up the trip to SMU, and then tell us what you expect to be back on the road at Temple this Saturday, please.
Well, obviously it was a disappointment for us because we had our chances in the game. You know, we came within 7 in the fourth quarter and really couldn't pull it out on offense. You know, facing that their offense, which is very productive. You know, they put up numbers on everybody and really had some good scores against us. And, you know, our guys are giving effort. We just got to keep making plays. We got to find a way to put the ball in the end zone and be creative from that standpoint. We look forward to going to Temple. You know, they had a great game against Central Florida. You know, a great play. Their quarterback and their wide receiver just, you know, kind of sealed the game for them. So it was tough. I know it was a tough loss for them because they played so hard. So looking forward to this matchup. And Temple's a very well-coached team. So our guys are still hungry. We're still getting after it. Just looking forward to going there and having a good battle.
Take questions for Coach T.J. Weist. Please hit *1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
And we'll hear from Joey Johnson with Tampa Tribune.
TJ, could you speak about the defensive challenge of playing against Garrett Gilbert and the approach that SMU takes, all the passes they throw, what kind of pressure that puts on defense, and how you go about trying to slow those guys down?
It's tough, I'm telling you, because they probably do the best job of spreading you out all across the field. And you don't know if they're going to throw it right, left, up the middle, deep, corner routes. You know, with all the concepts they run, it's just very hard to make a decision on defense how you're going to defend them because they've got so many weapons with those wide receivers. And then they turn around and you back everybody up, or you play their pass game and they turn around and run draws and do a good job with the run game, and they hurt us in the run game. So it's a very at times it's a simple offense, but it's very complicated with how many different concepts they run and some of the things they do, and it's to watch them run it is impressive because they don't really go that fast. They don't have a great tempo because they just line up and they take a look at what you're doing and just call their routes and let him sit back there and kind of pick you apart. He's very effective from that standpoint. You know, at times it's not a big play offense, and that's the thing that kind of makes it kind of lulls you to sleep at times because they just keep hitting short passes, then they hit a deeper one, and they don't really take a lot of shots. So it's not like it's that much of a big play offense, but it's just very productive as it moves down the field. You know, we felt like we tried to get pressure on him. But if you blitz and bring pressure, then he gets the ball off very quick. So I think you've got to have pressure from your starting front to really get to the quarterback to win their one-on-one matchups at times, to get to him and get him out of the pocket.
I mean, it sounds like that, given the level of sophistication that you're describing and how consistent they are, it's the kind of thing that can just drive a defensive coordinator crazy with how they play it. Is that about right?
Yeah, no question. You know, it's hard because you don't want to be a bend but don't break defense. But they get yardage on everybody they play. You know, they don't really score a lot compared to the yardage they get. You know, and that's the hard part is you got to make tackles. We said we had to do this. We had to. We're not necessarily let them get their yardage, but we had to make tackles. We had to, when they catch it, tackle. Don't let them catch it and then go make plays. And that's what cost us late is that we had 2 hitch routes in a row that went for 68 yards and a touchdown. You know, we missed a tackle just on a hitch route, and he ran for 50-some yards, and they turned around the next play and ran a hitch to the other side of the field. And our corner missed, who had been making tackles all day, and they scored a touchdown. You know, so that's the hard part about that offense is that you don't know if they're going to go right, left, up the middle. You don't know what they're going to run next because they throw it so much. And you can't really shut down their passing game, but you have to control it. You have to tackle them. We missed a couple, and it cost us late.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do you have any other questions for Coach Weist, please? *1 on your telephone, if so.
And we'll hear from Paul Doyle with the Hartford Courant.
Hey, TJ. I was just wondering what Kevin Friend's status is. Do you think he might play, or where does he sort of stand at this point?
Well, he's probable right now. He was coming off a concussion, so those concussion things are different from everybody because they test him every day, and everybody's rated different. Didn't practice yesterday, but we're hoping to get him back to practice in the next 2 days and hoping to get him back. I can't really tell right now, and those things are kind of day by day with all the issues with all the concussions of everybody being careful. So right now he's probable, but it's going to be day to day.
Also, kind of looking back on Casey's performance, and I saw that you mentioned yesterday that you were sort of impressed with some of maybe the leadership skills that he showed. Can you elaborate a little bit on that and just, what he showed beyond his sort of performance?
Well, here's with him. When you look at leadership, you look at at times the command that a quarterback has on the field and off the field and coming off the field and talking during a game and understanding what he's seeing, communicating that with the rest of the players, because there's a lot of communication that happens on the ball, and he does a good job changing protections based on blitzes, talking about hot reads, communicating with the receivers, getting off the field in between series and talking through situations and those things. And that's part of a quarterback's job from a leadership standpoint, to give confidence to the players that he knows what's going on. So he does a really good job with that. He knows that he's got to make more plays. He knows he's got to throw the ball better. He tried to fit some in there early in the first half. Those guys were double covered, and he was trying to force it in there. And then obviously made some late, disastrous throws that hurt us with the 2 interceptions. But overall, from a leadership standpoint, from a communication standpoint, running the offense, he did a good job and moved the ball down the field.
Is that something that can be taught, or is that something that a quarterback either has or doesn't have?
No, I think a quarterback has or doesn't have a toughness factor.
Right.
A toughness, a grittiness, that from that leadership standpoint. But the rest of it is the intelligence, the communication, the knowledge is really about work ethic. It's about work ethic and having an awareness of football and understanding situations. And being a coach's son, he kind of grew up with it, but it definitely can be developed. But it has to start with, there's got to be a grittiness to you. There's got to be a competitive side to you. And everybody's got a different level of competitiveness. And that's got to be a component of a quarterback with good leadership, that when the times get tough, players trust him because he puts his foot in the ground and says, we're going to do this, and is competitive and doesn't give up in situations and really rises to the occasion when you need him. And that's still yet to be seen with Casey because, we're in critical situations late in the game where he's got to rise up and make plays.
All right. Yeah, thank you, TJ.
Good.
And do we have anything more for Coach Weist, please? Coach, well, thank you for your time this week. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Good, thanks.
Okay, and that is UConn at Temple, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be on ESPN 3.